What up, though, guys? It's your boy Stevie D, and today I'll be removing my foot from my mouth and saying goodbye to Sony. Come check this one out. What up, though, creative cousins? It's your boy Stevie D. I am a beauty and fashion photographer based in Houston, Texas. And today, as the title says, we're saying goodbye to Sony. See ya. Goodbye. Bye, Sony. No, but it's much deeper than that. So, most of you guys know for the last 2 years, I've been shooting with the Sony a7R III. Absolutely amazing camera. Love shooting with it. Had no problems with it whatsoever. But let me rewind back to why I ended up shooting with Sony in the first place. So naturally, I've been a Canon shooter for most, I want to say about 70% of my photography career. And I initially switched over to Sony from Canon when I was shooting with a 5D Mark III. What happened was I was on a shoot and a friend of mine who's a videographer, won't say his name, Q. Q was on the shoot and he brought in the Sony a7R III and I checked it out. I absolutely loved how light it was. I'm a person who suffers from wrist issues. My mom was diagnosed with degenerative wrist disease, whatever it's called. So she has wrist issues. I have wrist issues. So just imagine, going from shooting with something that's built like a brick to something that's built like a piece of paper. And that's why I fell in love with mirrorless on the Sony, because at the time, Canon did not have any mirrorless systems. Now, over the next couple of years, Sony started to develop their own mirrorless system, especially for full frame. So my idea was I would rock with Sony until Canon came out with their own mirrorless camera that was sufficient. And when the EOS R was released, I was like, maybe I should check it out. But I didn't. I waited. I let some of the reviews pile up. I saw other photographers that I knew shoot with it, and I asked them about it, and they absolutely loved it. So by the time I was ready to make the switch, Canon came out with the Canon R5 and R6. And if you listen to my podcast, the Holler at Your Boy podcast, I said this. So usually when things are released, I like to wait until, 3-4 months before I actually, consider buying it, just because, bugs and things like that. And unfortunately, man, Canon kind of fucked this one up, because there's been so many reports of overheating when shooting video, either in 8K mode, 4K mode, and even in full HD. Like, it's like real bad. People are saying that the camera is unusable for video content. So I talked all that junk about not going and getting the R5 or R6. And oops, my bad. So I switched back over to Canon, and I've shot with it a few times. I just got back from New Orleans shooting an editorial, and it was absolutely amazing. I really love this camera. And also, I got the EOS R as well. So again, I talked all that junk about not getting the Canon R5 or R6. Now, I went with the R6 primarily because I'm not going to be using any of these for video. Right now, I'm filming on my Pocket 4K, and I think that's just way, way far advanced versus the Canon system. However, it is manual focus. So a lot of times when I'm shooting my YouTube videos, I have to use my little handy dandy focus puller. Okay, I'm back in focus. And these work amazingly well for autofocus, but again, I don't need 8K video. My computer has a hard time as it is shooting in 4K. So I went ahead and grabbed those two, switched back over to Canon. Now, the primary reason I switched back to Canon is because I wanted one lens in particular. There was one lens that I've had my eye on for the last 7-8 months. And I've tried using it on the Sony with adapters. I've tried using extension tubes, just didn't work. Now, normally when I would shoot beauty on the Sony, I would use my 90mm macro lens, or used to use my 90mm macro lens. And I love that lens. It was an amazing lens, super, super duper sharp. But what I found a lot of times when I really wanted to get in very close to the face, I don't know what it was. It just felt distorted for some reason. It just didn't look the way that I normally would shoot with beauty. So I talked to a few other friends who are beauty photographers, commercial beauty photographers, and they kind of shared the same sentiment that the 90mm did distort the face. Now, I could easily just get an adapter, shoot with the Canon 100mm, but I don't know, something about the adapter and native lenses just didn't sit well with me. I just didn't like the workflow. Some of it would limit you to just one autofocus point, stuff like that. And to be honest, I ain't got time for that. So the lens I'm talking about that I really, really wanted, it's a much older lens, but it's the Canon 180mm macro lens. And let me tell you, I love this lens. It's amazing. It's everything that I was looking for because I want to get into more macro beauty work. I really don't like being in people's faces, even with the 100mm macro. I wanted to, just be a few steps back. So I looked at the 180 macro lens, rented it, checked it out. It was amazing. It works for what I wanted to do. And that's what made me switch back over to Canon. So yeah, man, that's my little story about why I'm back to Canon. If you care, maybe you don't. Maybe some people are kind of like going up and down about switching, but that's the reason why I switched. Nothing bad about Sony. So all you Sony users, don't send me threatening emails and stuff. Still love you guys, still rock with Sony. You guys were amazing, but it just kind of boiled down to getting something that fit my workflow. And that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. So it's good to be back with the Canon family. R6 EOS R. I'm gonna be doing some damage with it. I've already got a couple of shoots in and they turned out amazing. So shout out to Canon, man. I don't know who y'all stole the autofocus from, the eye autofocus, but top notch. Anyway, that's my story, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Gave you a little bit of insight, and my phone is dinging. It should be on vibrate. It should be on vibrate. Can't even talk. And so if you like the content, drop me a like. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell to be notified for when I upload new videos, and holla at your boy.